Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good time zone to you. I have asked chat basically whether to do sealed or best of three today, and chat said both. Let's do best of three sealed. So that's what we're going to do. We're basically practicing for the Arena Open. One really cost-sensitive way to practice for the Arena Open is with the MTGAdraft.tk, which is what we use for the gauntlet. I'm not going to do that today, but I want to mention it because if you got a buddy, just one person that that's ready to practice with you, you can use MTGAdraft.tk and the sealed generator to do tons of sealed practice. And practicing for sealed is a lot easier than practicing for draft since you only need one other human. And like we did some ad hoc sealed this week doing that. And I'm going to do it in client today, but just wanted to mention that. And you can find players to play against if you join the GoingOptimal Discord. It's hopping with battlers there looking to practice for sealed as well. So check out the Discord and get in on that. And you can get a lot of free practice in, free limited in, and really stretch your Magic dollar. And if you're a limited fanatic, there's really no need for you to pay for Magic anymore if you enjoy the digital experience, because open enough side accounts, do enough MTGAdraft.tk drafting, and you can play online for $0, which is great because then you can take those dollars that you didn't spend here digitally and bring them to my sponsor, Card Kingdom, for your tabletop experience. They take US dollars and they give you some cardboard in return, and it's the best kind of cardboard, though. It's got Magic rules text on it, and you get to trounce your local community with your tabletop majesty. And they are really great sponsors. They've supported me for years. They were the first sponsor of Limited Resources. I haven't brought that up in a while, but Limited Resources was originally sponsored by Card Kingdom, and they were the ones that were like, they reached out to us basically, and as I was meeting up with someone who was working for them, and it worked out great. And they've just been such an excellent partner in my Magic content ever since. So thank you so much, Card Kingdom. Check them out via my affiliate link. You won't be disappointed in the customer service, prices, quality, and variety that you're going to find there. All right, let's do this. Sealed deck building time. Take a look at these rares. Yeah, Saffron Olive's take on the cost of Arena doesn't make total sense to me, though, because he kind of comes off like one must own all cards, and he's just a different, like, I'm just saying Saffron Olive problems are not my problems, and they're not your problems, right? Like, Saffron Olive problems are something else. They're not common. Yeah, nice open. Look, Day of Judgment is strong. This Extus is just bomby, and Silencer's whatever, but it's a nice on-curve 3/2 for 2 mana. So this top chunk looks nice. Maybe we splash some red here with the... This is interesting, too. I could splash this little sweeper. Anyway, let's go see. It's fun to look at your rares first, and I'll show you my technique for the trickiness of assessing these pools. Oh, yeah, plus one more. I was going to say that when sealed pools offer up more rares, the UI, this was a curveball for the Arena team, right? They had a system in place clearly to display 6 and exactly 6 rares or mythics from a sealed pool. And then Wizards introduces a set that often contains double rares in a pack, and suddenly they are... pressed for room and didn't have an adjustment. This is why, as a quick aside, the original design on pack opening was one at a time, or if you had 2 or more, like something or more, like any number beyond 1 of packs, you could have an open all button, right? Just open them all. And that's how I designed it at first, but we switched it because it was just too much work to account for opening many different numbers of packs. Like if you have an open all button, you have to decide what happens with 2, what happens with 3, what happens with 4, right? You got to keep going. What happens with 60, right? And you can answer those questions. They're not impossible to design around. But the much easier design path is 10 and only 10, and we do it for exactly 10 every time. Then you're only designing basically one interface for that. And that's what they did here too, but then got the curveball of R&D saying, wait, what if packs could have 6 to 12, or really 6 to 18? Well, and this was their solution. Do a little note at the bottom. Yeah, like, so to touch back on Olive, yes, it's a legit expense for him, but I feel like he talks about the expense of being Saffron Olive on Arena like it's the expense for everybody being on Arena, and I don't get that. Like, I don't understand what people are expecting to pay exactly for how much Magic. I mean, fundamentally, this is a free-to-play thing. If you're, and if you want more, if you want it all, they're going to ask you for money. Yes, I just don't have a problem with that, as long as there is a legit free-to-play path where players can have some competitive decks made over time and be able to compete in whatever format they want to. Anyway, let's get back to this deck build here. So we saw some appealing white cards, especially. I want to play this Day of Judgment if I can. Vortex Runner, which one's that? Is that the... yeah, that seems good, especially in sealed, if it's going to get ground out a little more. Do we have one? Yeah, Vortex Runner. Yeah, I don't know. My price per mythic is 0, so like, I don't know. I just don't need to have all, like, I don't know. I don't expect to have everything for nothing. Call me crazy. And I'm not saying Saffron does either, but I am saying that his circumstances are not typical. Well, this looks cool too. We got an eliminate. Anyway, let's look at our uncommons. That's how I like to do this. We started by looking at the rares as we opened the thing up, but now let's filter it to uncommons. Take a look at what uncommons leap out at us. Could also just go to commons and look at our dual lands. It's an important part of the format. But really, the rares showed us some Mardu leanings. Let's see if the uncommons support that. Well, this supports some Mardu splash here, but unfortunately, like, I wanted to see a bunch of white-black because that seemed like the place where our real power was in high rarity. Sorry, I'm checking in on chat here. Yeah, we'll look at... I just wanted to start with uncommons, but now let's look at... we can look at... I want to look at lands. I'm going to look at what lands we have. I hate this part. Like, why... I want to go to the end. Like, the more lands I start to build up, the longer it takes. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. I don't know how to shortcut this and just jump to the gold lands at the end, besides hop through. If anybody has a shortcut, please let me know. But I'm just trying to navigate to the lands we opened. Uncheck basic land. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, let me try that. I got to learn this because this is... Does that mean I go, like, common, we leave basic lands off? Yeah, okay, that's a good way to do it. Good call. How is this possible, though? Oh, we should have... Oh, maybe it's not... They're not guaranteed. It's not like some guarantee per pack, right? So that's a weird lack of lands, right? Yeah, each pack doesn't come with one. It's not like that. So this is just what we have, which is not a lot, but at least there's a campus, which we want. Yeah, we have rares too. I know those. But we know those. I was just wanted to see the lands we didn't know about. If you want to see them all at once, yeah, I can do that. But so it's looking like I'm gonna start here and just see what it looks like to be heavy white-black with a splash of red. I really want to play that Mythic. That's what I'm thinking. And let's see what it looks like if we just build that. And that's another way I like to approach sealed deck building. Just say, well, let's say we were these colors. What would it look like? And then build it and see what it looks like. We don't have a ton, but let's see. I'm going to see what it looks like anyway. Sometimes you can still get there. Hunt's good. Leech. Yeah, I can also, oh, this is good. Shield Maiden, this is good. This is good. That's not good. But that's great. That's playable. That's great. Playable to good. Pledge Mage, obviously. Silencer, fine. But now we're starting to... I'm trying to avoid the red right now and see what it looks like as a splash. Assistant is fine. Environmental Sciences is good to see in the board. Where that was another thing we wanted to see is where we're at on lessons. Rip Apart would absolutely be splashed here. We do have 2 campuses, so we could look at green splashes with something like the Woe Eater, but I don't know if that's worth splashing. And then, yeah, it looks like maybe. I mean, we're only at 33, so I don't know. I mean, if we start being a little more liberal with the splash, we can probably get there. Yeah, I guess we can play the Mark. I don't love this card in sealed, but yeah, stuff trades. It's playable if you're trying to build out the deck anyway. Heated Debate gets in there. And this is where, like, I mean, maybe you play an Explosive Welcome. This is, yeah, Study is appealing, but not necessarily as a splash. So let's look at Oracle text on Learn. I'm gonna reset the filters and then go. Actually, I want to do it with the sideboard. So Oracle lesson. First, let's look at lesson. Oh no, is that not? I thought that would work. Or did it? Type lesson. That's right. It's Oracle Learn Type lesson. Yeah, or I could just type lesson. That's fair. This doesn't do too much. Not a very good one. This is good, but not really our colors unless we get heavier red. This one works in this deck. This one doesn't. Environmental Sciences is key. So not the best lessons, but Environmental Sciences is nice. And let's see what we learn from here. So besides the hunt for specimens we have here, let's see what's in the deck. Rise, we have 2 in the deck. And then if we wanted to, we could play that the red one. Yeah, really not great on the learning, right? So, well, it's okay. We got burned on the learning, but we didn't have good lessons. Our lessons weren't great anyway, so that's all right. Best of 3, we could start with Campus In. We are pushing the edge of playables here, though, on this attempt at black, red, white. If we are willing to push the colors, add a little more red, I guess we play that. Yeah, maybe we need... What's our creature count? Yeah, only 10 creatures. That's brutal. This format can withstand some low creature counts, but that's especially low. We could play... Defiant Strike as a cycler. You know, I don't love this card, but if you're trying to fill out a deck that's a little bit short, you can do worse. I don't love an 8-drop when we're not really doing anything to ramp. That feels too cute by a lot. So where does that leave us? Another, we can play this as said, but again, you're just so low on creatures. Like maybe you have to do something like Ageless Guardian. Yeah, that's where I was at, Rob. Like, what are you going to do other than make sure you got some 2s? So this would be something along the lines, I know this mana isn't exactly right, but I'm going to say done to kind of lock in a deck, you know, just to, now we can come back to it. And if we don't save changes, we'll at least have this deck to return to. And now let's take a look at some other, you know, completely rebuild, thinking about other, especially green and blue. We took a close look at the Mardu side of town. Let's at least look at somebody saying, like, let's check out the green in general. Like, we do have 2 Witherbloom campuses, so that's appealing. Yeah, there could be an Obzon build here. Yeah, I get that, Brett, that games are going long, but without ramping, playing an Explosive Welcome is saying, I just want to happen to have 8 of my lands in play, which on average is going to happen about halfway through your library. And even games going on long, I think it's wrong to expect them to go like 13, 14 turns, which is what you're going to get to before you get halfway through your library, right? Start with 7, draw each turn, get halfway through your library about, you know, 13, 14 turns in, and that's too long to be holding an 8-drop hoping you can cast it. And even that's just on average. It doesn't even mean that you're going to necessarily get there just because you're halfway through your library. Yeah, this green doesn't look too super exciting to me. We were hoping to see, I mean, Eureka Moment's nice, but it's green-blue, which wasn't really near where we were at. We could infuse with Vitality. There's only one of those, though. Honor Troll is whatever, unless you're really doing the thing. You think it's about drops here? Yeah, Emergent Sequence is a 2-drop that helps fix as well. But let's take a look. Let's, instead of hemming and hawing, I can just build it and see what it looks like. Like, we're talking Obzon. Wanted to look at Obzon. Put stuff in here. I guess that's playable. There's a lot of kind of technically playable. Did I miss the eliminate? Where's the eliminate? Yeah, there's the eliminate. So really, we're saying we just got to play to this Overlord, and then what are we putting around it? And is the red or the green better? Like, red gets us Rip Apart and the burn spell. What am I? Let's see. Bring those in just to get this gets in. Expel gets in. Pilgrim gets in. This course gets in. This is 26, 25, 24, 23. I mean, this is a 23 card deck right here. Little funky. It's asking us to be a little heavier green, which puts us on what? Lighter what? Lighter white, although we got double black, double white, and early green. That's what I don't like about this. Yeah, I guess trolls are playable. I should put them in to consider. We do have the land searching lesson, so our mana gets pretty good there, except what we don't have is lesson, or we don't have is learning. We have Hunt for Specimen and Rise. So yes, we have environmental sciences, but we only really get it in time to be a good fixer with Hunt for Specimens. So it's not like we have some deep bench of learn that is going to help us find that. But I'm kind of liking the Mardu version. What do you think? Or is there a different... I'm going to see what you think on... give you a 45-second poll on Mardu. Mardu, Abzan, I think I spelled that right. Abzan or other. If you say other, it means, keep looking. Keep looking. Yeah, we could play environmental sciences main, I suppose, but it's not, I don't know. Yeah, maybe we would. Other doesn't mean guaranteed other, it means keep looking. It means we should explore some other build, not just pick one of those two. Like the Sultai build was suggested, although Sultai just eliminates Extus, and I just can't see not playing this. Another reason, another case for the Mardu is that we actually get Awaken the Blood Avatar as an option. I mean, what does it even do? As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may sacrifice any number of creatures. It costs 2 less to cast for each creature sacrificed. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. Create a 3/6 black and red avatar creature token with haste, and whenever this creature attacks, it deals 3 damage to each opponent. Yeah, it seems like not really what we want to be doing, but... All right, people want to try the Abzan version. I think the Mardu is better, but I'll go with chat. We can work with this. Yeah, I'm with Batmeme. I think Mardu's the way to go here. And I'm not going to leave this event without trying the Mardu deck. But if chat wants to start Abzan, we can do that. I wonder if having Abzan in front of your face is part of how this won. But not that this... I mean, I think this is viable, too. I just am wondering psychologically if seeing the deck has an influence on that front. So then there was the question of whether we're running the... environmental sciences as lesson or as just main deck inclusion. The benefit of main deck inclusion is that when you do draw it on early, I mean, you just get to make it your turn 2 play and fix. Whereas if you draw Hunt for Specimens early, you got to make this your turn 2 play and then go get the environmental sciences and then cast the sciences, right? So if with only 2 learns, if what we're trying to do is go hunt for the land fixer and like by the time we have Rise, that lesson is not going to matter, then yeah, maybe we should just include it main deck. The trouble is it also takes up a spell slot, so then we have to figure out what we're cutting in that case. Mardu was all of this white and black, and then basically the big, I mean, really... You're asking, like, what does Mardu look like? It's all the white and black we see here. Remove the green. Add Enthusiastic Study. Add Heated Debate. Add Rip Apart. And then add some tougher to cast stuff like Pigment Storm or Sloth. Sloth is not tough to cast, but you'd play like Relic Sloth, right? So that's what that looks like. I think the real trouble or the struggle I'm having with this build is I really like, even in my 3-color sealeds, to have a clear 2-color pair and a splash color. And red is clearly the splash color in the Mardu build. I mean, you could argue for the Pigment Storm and the Intervention, which are double red, but fundamentally, you're not looking for red early in the Mardu build. In here, I'm looking for all 3 of my colors early, and that concerns me. So that concerns me, but we're also going to give this a shot. We have better mana in this build, so even though it's more demanding on the mana, the double Witherbloom Campus really makes a difference on that as well. Yeah, we could think of this as splash white. I think you're probably right, given the 2-drops, only the silencer needs white. Expel can be played later to good effect. Pledge Mage can be played on double black. Pilgrim, while needs white, is so good you're happy to run it there. I love Pilgrim plus Day of Judgment, blow up the world. So that's fair. We just are kind of splashing the white, which is a little tough on like the Day of Judgment, but really Day of Judgment is powerful enough to hamper our mana for. And then I think you're right. This deck looks like it's more of a green-black build with a white splash. So at least understanding that helps me understand how to approach the mana. We're still going to include the silencer. You could make an argument to cut it, but I think we cut one of these honor trolls, maybe if not both. But yeah, we have 15 creatures now. We can even get rid of both of them, I suppose. But I don't mind having something going on at 3, and the Vigilance is okay. But the 25 or more life, it's so unusual for that to be relevant. You want to cut a Croc. That's true. We're pretty thick at 4, but I kind of dig the Crocs. But yeah, we could give up one of these if we wanted to do this. Leave that at 3. Sure, I'm down for that. And then got to go low on the white. 4, 5. Oh yeah, we're going to add the sciences as a main deck card. That was a reasonable choice, I think. Although you could argue to cut land, but except again, I find I need all my land in this format. So let's get. How many are we at? 15. 15. So if we went. Boom, boom. What does that look like? First of all, 5, 6, 7 green, 5, 6, 7, 8 black. Probably want that switched because green can be a fixing element in the first. Yeah, silencer you could argue to cut. Maybe we should. It's really only impressive when you A, know what they're up to, so we could bring it in after sideboarding, or B, you get it on turn 2, which is obviously less likely in this build. We could cut the Judgment. We don't have to, though. I think this is a powerful enough effect to stretch the mana for. With environmental sciences and emergent sequence helping with the white. And we're best of 3. How do we come back from Wrath? Pilgrim of Ages, but I think that's the wrong question to ask. It's simply a thing that can solve problems that no other card can solve. It has the drawback, well, not no other, but no other type of card. Sweepers do something that no other type of card does, and I find them if cheap enough, powerful enough to run just because they can get you out of a spot that you couldn't get out of otherwise. The cost of that is that when you don't have a situation you need to get out of, and you have Day of Judgment in hand, in which case you've effectively mulliganed. So there is that, but basically, I don't need to have a perfect plan for post-Judgment to justify running it. But sure, let's cut the silencer and keep the white more of a splash. Like, I think Day of Judgment is more of a splashed white card than the silencer is. Even though this is double white and the silencer is single, the silencer is only at its best on turn 2 and gets worse and worse from there. Whereas Day of Judgment is at its best later in the game anyway. So let's go ahead and try this. We are going to, I think this is, yeah, we need 4 white. Like, if we didn't have the double white, we could cut down on planes a little more, but I'm okay with this. I think we're going to be fine. And I'm going to call this deck, let's see, it was Mardu or Abzan. I wonder if there's a pun there. Modzon. Marzipan. How about, I also like this Overlord. How about Extus stage left? Do we get any bling redemptions? No. Let's see, 4 plains, 4 swamps, 6 forests. I'll choose. I always fall back on my favorite if nobody else is choosing. Four, five, six, seven. Yeah, I like this. I'd run a poll, but we don't really have a... I don't have a par poll set up for this structure, but I think this is not the best sealed, but we can make it work.
Oh, no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
Just a reminder that we will not be reading. Set filter plus land filter, says Skeeve. Not sure what you're suggesting there. I don't know. How does that help me find the basic land I was looking for? Whatever. I also notice I don't have audio on the client, that is. Apparently, best of 3 sealed is not where the party's at. But I can't change the volume until I get an opponent. Yeah, it's more evidence that ultimately best of 1 is simply a more popular format on Arena than best of 3, no matter how you slice it. I think I got a card. I don't know what card this is. I'm gonna open my mail. Foil Proctors. Well, this is a bit ugly as a keep. We only have the 1 plains for the Day of Judgment, so we don't have just some guaranteed sweeper out. But Oppo going first. We have a turn 2 play. I am going to keep this, but it could go wrong. I did get a summon. I got a jury duty notice. I got to figure out when that's gonna happen. No stream someday for... Come on, that is so cruel, deck. That is so cruel.
Oh, here comes the sun.
Oh, God. Serving up 2 forests from this opening hand. Oh my God. More forests. I want another forest. Just bring it. More forests right now.
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll end your breath.
Almost as bad.
Field trip pretty
Good
damn
work,
quick,
deck.
huh?
Jesus.
We will say goodbye to flesh and blood.
Turn 2 flood meme and legit turn 2 flood meme. Come on. Oh my gosh, deck. They need to fix the shuffling code. Obviously, the shuffling code is broken. Fix the shuffler, Watsy. I got part 2 of the flood, didn't I? I thought I did. Well, we got Rise of Extus next turn. Oppo's got to be wondering what the heck. This never happens to me in paper. I get perfect mana every time I play in paper. This is bull. This is bull crap. Learn to code, Watsy. I've never coded in my life, but I'm going to say that like I know what I'm talking about. I love it now. I just want to, bring it. Just make this the most ridiculous flood I've ever had. Bring it. Still gonna win. Let's get rid of, I don't know, field trip, I guess. Yeah, it's still no planes. Mwah. That's all right. We're going to finally flood into our other planes. Like, I'm still rooting for a land draw, which is hilarious. Come on, land. Come on, Magic Gods. One time, land. I know that I'm asking the Magic Gods to give me a forest or swamp there, but at this point, I want it. At this point, whatever. I should scry. Note how that didn't even work. Like, if you don't do this fast enough, the animations hadn't caught up, but by the time I had pressed upkeep stop, the game logic was already in our main phase. The animations just hadn't caught up yet. But we got an eliminate. It's not going to get this, though. So we're just slowly kind of dying to this. It's hilarious. But this is an instant, so we do have the tools to cast this and scry. So kind of our out here is Oppo plays us something juicy to eliminate, and then we scry, find a planes, and blow this up, or scry and find removal for this. Oppo thinking through options. Oppotions. So now with that, we kind of look for, we should scry first and see if we can find a planes and not have to use our eliminate. I mean, that is a card. It's not a land. At this point, you'd think that would be thrilling to me. Maybe I'll put another upkeep stop on. Yeah, I don't think this is enough. This is not what's going to save us here. We need an answer to this, and we don't have an answer to this, so we just got to dig till we have one. But I don't know if I should upkeep scry or not. I put the stop on so we can decide. But like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we scry and find a planes, we still can't play the Day of Judgment, so we really can't scry upkeep because we don't have the mana. And so that being said, do we eliminate one of these pledge mages, or are we just at, we either find Day of Judgment mana or we don't? I think we're on Day of Judgment mana or we don't. So I'm just gonna not even eliminate. Well, we got paid off for having too much land. We can at least play the ley line, threaten to block this, and kill one of the pledge mages. Although, mana up here, we'll see if it lands. Wait. Oh, spell. Got it. I've never seen it used in that mode before. Yeah, actually, that brings that card up for me a little bit. I really thought of it as just bounce, but having spell bounce brings that card up a notch for sure. I don't know about busted meme, but certainly better. Well, that was just whatever. I'm going to laugh that one off and figure out how to approach the sideboard. There, Sultai Value Train. And some big stuff. I guess we could bring in Defend the Campus. Some more interaction. And cut, what do we want to cut for that? Arrogant Poet, maybe? It's not really an Arrogant Poet format, or, you know, the sealed that is. It is a two-powered creature for 2 that can block and trade, though. I'm not going to do a Mardu switch. This is where this system ought to have deck swapping to accommodate exactly what you're talking about. I mean, it is what it is. The Wrangler. Oh, yeah. No, not really. But, I mean, it doesn't... You just need to cast a couple spells. Like, is it good in this deck? We have 11 spells, so... It's going to get some counters picked. Hello? Okay, I guess we're running it back. Never mind. No sideboarding needed. Just better draws. Well, a little floody again, but this looks much better. We can Sciences for our second white. Have all of our mana covered in double. But probably Specimens on 2. Now we don't even need Sciences to get our double white, but I'm going to start with Specimens. Take a look at what we want from the board. And I think we just, with all the land we have coming, we're going to get a Fractal Summoning and eventually cast a big one. We could also, you could take something that's going to be more castable sooner, but I just like taking the big, yeah, you could take the Pest for a turn 3 play. That's fair. Maybe we should just do that. I just don't know how impactful that is long game, as opposed to just getting a huge beastie eventually. But that's a interesting choice. I think it is Pest Summoning versus take a long game card. Yeah, that's true. Expanded Anatomy on the Lifelinker. I just don't count on that. I don't count on that happening. I think I expect this to die. Like, if this were later game, I think I like the Expanded, because then they might be out of removal. But getting Expanded Anatomy early just seems like asking to 2-for-1 yourself. I am going to go for the Pest Summoning, though. Yeah. Good news is none of these are so important that we're just going to be crushed by this spell resolving. New option. I think we go for the Troll, because maybe we can find our way. It's too bad we lost our Lifelinker now with the Troll, but I like a Forest Troll Pass. Yeah, right. Take a peek. Agonizing remorse indeed, but not for you. All right, well, kind of getting there on options. I'm not going to go... I'm going to do Pest Summoning tap land, not... Because we could do also Hold Up Infuse and cast Environmental Sciences, but I'm going to go for more pests and hold this stuff up. Do this next turn. We get a Wrath, we get a Day of Judgment. We can infuse this with Vitality, blow up the world, gain a bunch of life, and turn the Honor Troll into a 4/4 Vigilance. That's just GG, right? Not really, but that's why this card is... Yeah, it's like you do the thing. You successfully do the thing, and you've got a slightly bigger than slightly undercosted creature. Yeah, the troll... Massacre Girl would kill the troll, because it would kill all these and then kill the troll. So they don't know about the Vitality. We could send in everything, but it would basically just be turning this into a removal spell for the colony by giving up a single pest token. So let's go for it. I'm going to send all. And then we have, if they don't block, we have Expel anyway. So let's do the plan. We'll use this as removal here. (4/4) after combat, but we did get there. Look at that. It's 4/4. For how long? For how long? I don't think we need Expel, right? Not likely to see a tapped creature before we start our next turn, so I'm going to go Sciences here. Oh, sure, yeah, I should have Scienced before. Then I would have gotten some extra damage. A little sequencing error there. And where are we at on color needs? Really, everything's good. We got doubles of everything, so it doesn't really matter. We have a lot of double black, though, I feel like, so I'm going to take a Swamp. There are worlds in which we need three black on one turn. Interesting. We're going to play the planes they know about. Next up is really Scrying, but we're going to offer the Troll. We'll certainly trade for that thing. Could even send these and say we'll take 5 damage for a pest, and that would be okay. Yeah, I think we send everything. Also encourages a crackback potentially that we get to expel. Hat. Is that a hat there? Leave it to Hat to observe the hats. Uh-oh. I was gonna say, this doesn't look good. Looks bad. Looks like we're getting crushed. Jeez. Our Oppos have just had it all today. So far. Only 2 games in. Really, we just had nothing last turn. Last game. Well, now I don't think... If they have good blocking after, they might send in this. I hope so, because we'd like to try and...
I'll turn this damn bus around. That'll
Yeah,
end
this is
your
best of 3.
breath.
Same Oppo.
You'll trip pretty damn quick.
With the pests, hopefully they send in the Dean, because they have good blocking now. Go away, Dean. Is the black-green Dean good? The green side is great. I mean, you got a 4/4 for 4, and if you do the thing, you counter up your team. 4/4 for 4 with significant upside is great. Cross your fingers. Yeah, could be worse given the circumstances because they don't have anything to double, but that's gonna get us dead soon enough if we don't do something about it. Oh, I forgot to scry. Sorry, gang. I would have kept that on top anyway, but let me set a reminder. And I'm going to play out lands so that we can... Let's see, do we want to upkeep scry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would leave us with 3. It's possible we find something for 3 mana that we want to play. So yeah, I'm going to do this and upkeep scry. Yeah, the pests are pretty brutal. But I'm just saying at least no counters got doubled. Gonna take 12 here. I don't know what we might have to crack back and win, but I'm not trading off anything here. So, scry and have 3 mana left post scry, or take a shot off the top and hope we find something. But we have another turn. I think CBL is up and open. I think I'm going to take a natural draw here. And then, yeah, scry for Day of Judgment doesn't let us cast Day of Judgment, though. So I may as well take a natural draw and search for Day of Judgment at the end of Oppo's turn. So I'm going to take a natural draw. Immediately punished. But I am going to continue to play the land and telegraph, not telegraph, just be open-faced about that. I'm also not going to block again, so I'm going to attack here. Like, I know we're going super low, but we're kind of on Day of Judgment or bust anyway. So, yeah, we could technically lose to a pump spell, but I'm going to risk it. Although, I guess if we're just dead... But the thing is, yeah, like, I do think getting... yeah, I'm going to do it. I know there's some risk here. That we could lose to a trick. Tricks are less common in sealed anyway, though. I don't expect this is just GG. If it is, I took the risk for the damage. We'll see. One-time dealer. And we can scry because we scry. If we miss, we can scry. Oh, but we can't, as pointed out. Well, no, we can scry with this campus and still have double white. So it's good. That is not Day of Judgment. Got to make sure it scries the same way, though. Got our double white. All right, one-time dealer. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Here it is. Here it is. Play into our outs. Play into our outs. One-time dealer. No, it is white in its color, but we lost. We played your outs. We had a rough match. Oppo's deck looked better too, whatever. Pocket Nebula likes to look. If Nebula were playing paper, Nebula would be like flipping cards off the top until they find it. I'm not that way. I used to be that way, but now I'm like, it doesn't help me at all. Like, there's no... It's just in one of the places in the deck. I don't know where. But I get it. I get the curiosity. I just don't feel it anymore. I used to, and now I don't. I'm a never looker. Good games, answer. Well, they're games. You should have. You can go watch the replay of that. But the first game was just comical flooding. Comical flooding. We kept a 5-lander. We kept a 5-lander with a Day of Judgment and 1 plains, and then the leech. And we just drew nothing but lands like the whole game. It was hilarious. Like the first thing we could actually cast was the Exile 6-drop, and you countered it. It was like, yeah, all right. And then game 2, just we were digging for that Day of Judgment again and couldn't find it. We had one. We played to our outs, and there were none to be found. So this is a 2-loss thing, right? So if we're gonna try the Mardu build, we got to go try it. I want to try the Mardu build once, and since we've already dropped a match, we got to go do that change. Well, actually, I didn't need to cut that land. I'm gonna cut this land for now. Cut everything green. Put this back in the board. I think, well, we might bring it back in, but we'll see. White Mardu colors. We ended up playing that and that. Heated debate, study. Silencer gets back in. This never should have left. This is nice to have in best of 3, but I still don't see enough main deck targets to justify including it main. I'm going to go... See, like I could do the thing. Somebody suggested some ways I could shortcut filter to find that, but I don't know. Just clicking just seems ultimately faster. See what they suggest there, and then Pigment Storm, Intervention, Rip Apart, and Sloth. There's also Make Your Mark. This should get in, of course. We play Make Your Mark. Starting to get to the bottom of the barrel here, though. Oh, Assistant could play. So now here we're at making cuts from here. I think we cut Make Your Mark and Defiant Strike as somewhat do nothing. This is a pretty creature light pool, really, is what we're facing. I was going to filter it to creatures, but it doesn't really help because there's so many token making spells that kind of cuts you off from understanding what your full options are. But I'm going to call this basically a deck here. That's the thing, Hida. It's not that I don't like... It's not that I think Make Your Mark is unplayable or anything. It's that I don't see it doing enough here, given our light creature count and the general game plan of this situation. Lands, let's see. We are splashing the red. That's too much red, even though we've got the double. We do need to be a little bit more Devil's Mana base in this one, but I think 5 natural plus the lesson to get a 6th is going to be enough for the double reds we have. But what does that leave us with white and black? Or do we have enough? We are on... Oops, that's not what I wanted to look at. I wanted to look at this. We're on 15 lands here, so yeah, if we go boom, boom, what does that look like? It gives us 5, 6, 7 white, 6, 7 black. So then we're looking at a 7-7-5 baseline. 7-7-5 baseline plus Pilgrim to help get double white, and Hunt for Specimens, and Enthusiastic Study helping us get the Environmental Sciences. This is a tough mana base, but this is what the pool gave us, is a tough mana base. The other thing we could do is be like red, black, splash the white, maybe even cut Day of Judgment and make the white less of a thing. Because we could do, like, if you cut the white we're not super happy with, we probably still play the Silencer in this version. But you could cut the early white there, bring in like just a random 2-drop general and like a an effigy, or I guess we're pretty thick at 4. Tome Shredder, you know, just something. I don't love that either, honestly. We throwing counters around. Just thinking maybe the mana is better with white as the splash. But here you go. This is just a tough, kind of a tough pool. Any thoughts? You like the core red better? I think I'm going to go with the heavier white plan, but not loving that either per se. And Beaming Defiance. Do we want Defiance or do we just want a Cycler? I'm down on Explosive Welcome because we don't have any ramping. I'm not into 8-drops that you just need to actually have 8 lands in play, playing 1 land per turn. And yeah, I'm on strike too. Cycling here seems a little better. All right, let's give this a shot. See how Mardu works. This mana is pretty persnickety, I'm not going to lie. And by that, I mean greedy AF. Wow, we waited for quite a while for our first match to start, but this one got going pretty quickly. No, I have really not liked the discard effects in this format because I never feel like I have spare lands to discard. I mean, this event so far notwithstanding. In general, I'm not feeling the loss. This is nice though. We got Poet into Study into Overlord. I like it, including tap land. This is perfect. I expect this to die on sight, but we're going to try. Oh, man. Kind of rough, although I think we just go ahead and plow in Enthusiastic Study, learn, let the Poet die, and potentially get it back with the Overlord. Again, I'm afraid the Overlord just dies on sight, but it also feels like the only real plan we've got, and I don't mind the dead creature in the sense that we hope that this lives and we just get the dead creature back. I'm going to decline, offer the trade. Be crazy to not take the trade with the Pilgrim. And I could have made it fly, but again, I want it dead for the Extus, but again, it could also work out terribly if the Extus dies. So what do we want here? Maybe we get something else to do on 4 even, but maybe we draw something. How about Expanded Anatomy here? Like, if it lives, may as well move all in on it. If it dies, we're in serious trouble anyway. I'm going to try it. It's high risk, high gain. getting the land finder, but we already have double white. We have our red splash. We don't have our double red, which is so you could have made the argument that I should have secured the double red, that could come back to haunt us. But basically, I'm trying to move in on the Overlord, and if they can take out our Overlord, we're in trouble. If we untap with the Overlord, we're probably in solid shape. Because we even get to go cast Anatomy, recast the Poet. But these are the places where, for my own sanity, I kind of expect to lose my bomb, so then it doesn't hurt so much when it happens. Like, if you just set your expectations to, this thing probably dies, and then it's like, oh my god, it didn't die! Hey gang, look, it didn't die! We're in solid shape! Not bad either, having this in the back pocket. But I like the play I was talking about. Expanded Anatomy gets this out of Pledge Mage range. Thanks for that sub. Because we can kill this and they can't put 5 damage on it. And we've got the Day of Judgment, but I'm going to throw the Poet out. Right now, we are on the front foot. I'm going to see if we can make that stick. And use Day of Judgment as our backup plan if they do that, for example. Well, this is fine. We get to chump, prevent some damage, and then blow up the world. We even get a post-wrath play. That's cool, too. Put Upkeep Scry as a possibility. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would only leave us with 2 mana. So actually, I'm not gonna. Could send in and trade this for either of these creatures, gain 2 life, and then expel whatever comes back the other way. Not super exciting, but I think fine. It gets us the life for sure, and we will... Hello? I'm getting serious clunk here. A little lag. I don't think we have Scry plus Expel, but we have Scry or Expel. Might just Scry and then Expel main phase on our next turn. Let's see what they come up with on a play here. There's our second red source. We could leave that to have second red, but we don't have a second red spell. I just know that I'm going to put this on the bottom and we're going to draw a double red. But I mean, I can't keep this. It doesn't do anything for us right now. All right, that's actually not bad. I like dropping the Pilgrim and having the Expel. Might just cast the Expel. I'd like to use this on a better creature, but this is clocking us in the air. We've only got 5 turns before this gets us by itself, so shouldn't be greedy here. Should just take the Expel we've got. And I will set the upkeep stop, and we'll consider whether we want to upkeep Scry here. So upkeep scry costs us, leaves us with 4, which is pretty good. So let's go ahead and upkeep scry. Yes. Pledge Mage, we'll keep that and play it. It's action. That's all I was looking for, just making sure we didn't draw land. And I guess we offer Pilgrim for Pilgrim and then try to clear for Pledge Mage. Yeah, there's... Alright. That's not the worst. I'm going to keep playing my lands. We just got too much stuff we're trying to do with regards to scrying. We make it clear that we got nothing, but it sets us up to find something. And boy, do we need to find something, because Bookworm is serious business. So, do we have... what's our out to that? We have Mage Hunter's Onslaught. Rise of Extus. Really, we've only got the 2 answers to that. We have 2 outs. One of them we could cast if we scry. The other one we can't cast if we scry, right? So 1, 2, 3, 5 kind of represents the scry. So 4 left over. So we could cast the Onslaught, but not the Extus. So, and this is just a scry 1. So it's almost the same thing. Like 2 shots with no scry. Or scry 1 for a shot at 1 card, right? It's basically the same odds, so I'm going to take a natural draw. Maybe we find a creature that lets us survive for another draw. Hey, look at that. I was trying to find, you're saying there's a, you're telling me there's a chance, but now I'll do it right before they take away our chance. Here.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Silencer. We could do Silencer naming Bookworm, and then we have more of a chance to deal with that if it comes back. Is that keepable here? It gives us... I don't think it gives us enough, right? True says yes. What do we get? This can attack cleanly. Like, we'd have to 2-for-1 ourselves to stop the 4-4. The 3-2 does block the 1-1. All right. Good point. We can cast it in Scry. That kind of makes... That's worth it. Yeah, we probably name Bookworm, but I think we probably have to block with this before we see the Bookworm again. But that's the right thing to do. This is like the most underwhelming of these uncommon weirdo cost creatures, but getting the work done here. It's trouble for us. And here's where the greedy mana is going to cost us. Not that we really have... I mean, I would like this because we could kill this with it, but we can't use this right now, so got to put it away. And no blocks. And more upkeep scrying. Can't cast that, so can't keep that. There's the mountain. Do I even show this? I think I hold this now because I think we're just dead. Looks like we're just dead. Day of Judgment, not enough. We are winless on the day. Can't find a single darn win. I'm gonna ditch the Defiant Strike and bring in our Defend the Campus. And beyond that, I don't know what we've got that we want to bring. Yeah, I think that's it. Boy, this deck has been not performing. It's not a strong pool, but it's also a medium pool drawing poorly, so we won't even get into the pilot, but the baseline is not going our way today. But I'm feeling pretty good for 3 straight losses to open the stream here. I'm trying to focus on how I'm losing, which is not to say mechanically what things are happening, but emotionally, how am I losing? And I feel like lately I've been losing pretty well. So I feel good about that. Yeah, Jim, there is a Arena Open on May 8th that's going to be sealed. So we're doing a little sealed practice for that. A little rough, but I'm going to keep... We need some luck with this deck, and we do have an Arrogant Poet and a lot of white to find. Any white or black source, and we can play the Pledge Mage on 3. We don't have that many mountains. Like, Mountain becomes our worst draw here, but like any land gets us on track. I'm going to... Besides a mountain gets us on track, so I'm going to keep... Has the potential to go horribly awry. Like, this could just fall flat on its face, but you got to take some risks, and I think this is a risk worth a keep risk worth taking. Haven't heard anything, Dave, but I could inquire. They should start telling us what's up with that. Well, now study means literally any land, and we can at least study a poet. And maybe not next turn. We have 3 campuses, but even 2 campuses in a rare. But anyway, even an ETB tap land would be welcome here. And we're approaching the fall flat on face side of this draw, but again, accepted risk. We were highly likely to have something to do by turn 3, and we just missed. And now the deck's gonna laugh at us a little bit, because sure. I am not into attacking or blocking here, though. We're just gonna say no attacks, take it. Sure. Good news, everybody. We get to pitch a spell that we can ditch to Draconic Intervention to sweep later. So we're going to ditch Defend the Campus so we have a deal 4 waiting. It'll all work out. This is going to be fine. Yeah, Oppo isn't really punishing us, but I don't think they need to do much for this to be brutal. It already is brutal. Like, as soon as you're doing this, when discarding down to hand size is so brutal. It's also why I think they should up maximum. It's clean to have starting and maximum hand size be the same. So starting hand size 7, maximum hand size 7. It is an elegant design to keep those the same, but I strongly believe that they should up the maximum hand size to 10. It keeps in the, all right, you got to discard down from 10, but it wouldn't punish you so hard for experiencing what we are. Like, there's no need to force me to defend the campus. I'm already up against it. At least let me keep my chance of recovery. It would hurt if I hadn't, like, let go of, we're just getting worked today, and that's the way it's going. And I'm, again, trying to focus on losing with good spirits. So that's what we're doing. A good spirit loss. And I would still say that we're still mostly...
Your friend here is only mostly dead.
I mean, look at this. We've got, let's say we draw a Plains. We draw a Plains, we can expel the Pledge Mage. We didn't draw a Plains, but we finally drew a land, so we can at least do this. Maybe what we need to do, one of the problems now is that we, even if we make it to intervention, we no longer kill the Pledge Mage. But I like attack with Lifelinker. Yeah, and then hold back Poet, an enthusiastic study on blocks against the Pledge Mage. It's one of those moves that could go horribly awry. Oppo's going to have open mana and cards, but I don't think we have a future. Like, expel the Pledge Mage in the future, says Math. Certainly that's the plan. If we could also play this Pledge Mage and threaten a double block. Yeah, actually I'm going to play this because if we find a natural white source, we could take this attack again, expel, get lifelink. Why no study there? Oh, that's a good point. I actually didn't expect them to block. I was a little surprised. I didn't really consider it because I really was not expecting them to block. But it wouldn't have saved it. It would have? Study is +3/+1, so we get a 5/2 blocked by a 2/2. Oh, right, sorry, it was this one. I was thinking it was this one. Yeah. I probably should have saved it. You're right. I just didn't expect him to block, honestly. So this one is not attacking, which is kind of weird. I'm going to say no blocks. That was my plan. Go ahead and take this. If we find a natural Plains, we're super happy. We get to... okay, not exactly what we were looking for. But we can hunt for the sciences, and that will get us the expel. So we can hunt and then... So could also enthusiastic study for it, and maybe that's even better. Study, use up more mana, and gain some life, significant life off the Pledge Mage. I'm gonna do that. Means taking another Pledge Mage hit, but we're gonna gain a ton of life. Well, we're gonna try. I mean, honestly, we're probably getting blown out here. Again, they had crap ton of open mana and 4 cards. So maybe I shouldn't risk, like, let's... But now I'm in declare attackers, so if I want to get lifelink, the only way to do it now is with study. But maybe I should leave back the Poet for blocks. I'm going to do this. Our pledge mage still dies here, but we get a ton of life for it, and we get to learn. If this works. I'm expecting a blowout here, so brace yourselves, and then we'll figure out what to do next if this doesn't work out as expected. No tilty when you see it coming a mile away. But we're really... Well, I shouldn't say we're done for. Like, let's see if we've got outs. We do have outs with the Expel on the Pledge Mage, so I'll hold. We took that risk and got blown out, but we're super mostly dead, but still just mostly. Yeah, that's rough that they get Inklings every time stuff dies, but also we can't just sit here and take this, so we're gonna let them have it. Let's see if we get specifically a planes off the top. That is not a planes, but we're also still only mostly. Oh yeah, no problem. They only get 1 Inkling per turn. We should be fine. We're not fine. What do we even get here that matters at all? Like, you almost want pest summonings for more chumps. I don't think we have outs to those redonkulous flyers. But I suppose I'm going to take the sciences. It gains us some life and potential. I don't know. I just think we're dead. I don't think it matters. What a day. Last week was nothing but winning. This week is just like, cannot buy one. But we are technically mostly in that we have Expel this. No, but then they get another Inkling. I just don't see how we do it. Yep. All right, gang. There you go. What an impressive run, as we literally failed to win any game. Not a single one. Ofer. Done. That hurts. But again, I'm going to focus on my my mental game, my tilt management, setting expectations, reminding myself that I do not deserve any Magic wins. Deserve does not come into it. You play, you do your best, and variance in all facets, plus some skill differentials, make for some results. That's okay. And if I can walk away from an 0-4 performance in reasonably good spirits, that's pretty good for me. Tilt management, even in my... It's just an ongoing life management thing for me. I've got really great role models in my life in terms of game tilt management. Marshall is incredible at managing tilt. Nobody's tilt proof, but I've gamed in my life with a lot of friends who are much more tilt proof than me, and they help me manage at times like this. How about this? Since we didn't get to, oh, did I didn't save that out, did I? I was gonna say, let's play, like, we can play some more. I could still go get it. Probably 17 lands has the deck. So maybe let's do that. I could play some more. Well, I don't know. What do you think? I could draft something. It's not even 11 yet, my time. I can do a new draft, a fresh draft, or some pickup games with this deck I haven't won with yet. But I don't, you know, it's like I kind of don't want to deal with that pool anymore. It was a medium pool that then fell on its face with some variance to boot. Let's just move past it. All right, well, I will draft, but I can't promise you I'm going to play it out. We don't even have a win on this account yet, though, so I'm going to go ahead and enter in another draft. Look at this. Our main account has dipped below 30K in gems. That's scary. Of course, it's because we've been piling up the gold, but still. Thanks, Prof. I'll check him out. Yeah, no need to vote. We're just going to do draft, and I'm going to do premiere, and then maybe finish it up. I could do, yeah, I'm going to do premiere after that best of 3 there. Let me start with, we'll do a couple of cha-chas here. I should really say goodbye to YouTube friends. I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube friends ahead of this next thing I'm going to do. Probably this goes up YouTube friends, so the next posting after this one is probably going to be whatever we do here, which is likely to be a partial event, so we'll see. But thank you so much for hanging out. Sorry we couldn't come up with a win there, but I show you everything I do here. I post it all. No hiding from our offers. We just took an offer and we'll move on. Move on and be fine. See ya, YouTube.